Good morning and welcome to the WEX Wakeup. I'm Christy Matino. Developing now, disgraced South Carolina attorney Alex Murdaugh has been found guilty for the murders of his wife and son.
The state of South Carolina, county of Colleton, the state versus Richard Alexander Murdaugh, defendant. Indictment for murder, verdict, guilty.
Murdaugh faces 2 counts of homicide for the deaths of his wife Maggie and son Paul in June of 2021. The 28-day trial consisted of hearing testimony from 61 witnesses and hundreds of pieces of evidence, including cell phone data and videos. Prosecutors leaned heavily on Murdaugh's financial wrongdoings, of which he faces 99 charges and 19 indictments as the motive for these murders. And in political news, President Biden now siding with Republicans on a new D.C. crime law. Biden says while he supports D.C. statehood, he will still sign a Republican-backed law overriding the crime bill passed by the city council if it reaches his desk. Biden told Senate Democrats of his decision during the party's weekly luncheon, and it came as a surprise. The president previously expressed opposition to the Republican measure to override the city's criminal code. Reporters asked Press Secretary Karine Jean-Pierre why Biden thinks he has the authority to override the city council if D.C. should be a state. Here was the response.
This is different. The way that we see this is it's very different. This is the D.C. council put changes forward over the mayor's objections, and the president doesn't support changes like lowering penalties for carjacking.
The Senate GOP is hoping to force the vote next week on the updated code, which lessens punishment for homicides, robberies, and carjackings. And Senator Dianne Feinstein has been hospitalized for shingles. That diagnosis will cause her to miss votes this week. Feinstein says she is now recovering in a hospital in San Francisco and hopes to make a return to the Senate later this month. The senator announced she would retire at the end of her current term in 2024. And in health news, Tennessee is following in Mississippi's footsteps, banning transgender procedures for minors. Now, this comes just 2 days after the Magnolia State signed a similar bill into law. Tennessee Governor Bill Lee signed legislation on Thursday that will ban minors from accessing gender transition procedures. The Republican-controlled House passed the legislation in a 77-16 vote at the end of last month. Minors who take medications forbidden under the legislation, such as puberty blockers, will have until March 31st, 2024 to go off the drugs. The legislation is set to go into effect later this summer. And that's the news on the WEX Wakeup. Be sure to follow us online and on social media so you stay in the know of all the headlines in politics.